Welcome to chapter 2, acids, bases and salts chapter. So in this chapter already discussed about pH and applications of pH in everyday life. Now I will explain about the last part of this chapter, that is about salts, about salt. So what is salt? Salt is an ionic compound formed by neutralization reaction. Salt is an ionic compound formed by neutralization reaction. What is meant by neutralization reaction? When acid reacts with base, gives salt and water. This reaction is called neutralization reaction. Salt formed by the combination of hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide solution. You take sodium chloride NaCl, it is formed by the combination of hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide solution. What is the formula of the salt? NaCl. What is the name of this NaCl? Sodium chloride. This is the salt we use in food. It is a neutral salt. It is also known as common salt. Sodium chloride, it is neutral salt. Sodium chloride is common salt. Seawater contains many salts. Seawater contains not only sodium chloride, it contains so many salts dissolved in it. Sodium chloride is separated from these salts. Now, deposits of solid salt are also found in several parts of the world. These large crystals are often brown color due to the impurities. This is called rock salt. What is rock salt? Deposits of solid salt. Deposits of solid salt are also found in several parts of the world. These large crystals are often brown due to the impurities. This is called rock salt. Beds of rock salt were formed when seas of bygone dried up. Rock salt is mined like coal. You will see pH of some salts. You take first salt, potassium sulfate. Its formula is K2SO4. Potassium sulfate is K2SO4. How this K2SO4 formed? It is formed by the reaction of acid H2SO4 and base KOH. Similarly, you take one more salt, sodium sulfate. What is the formula of sodium sulfate? Na2SO4. You check sodium sulfate, formula is Na2SO4. What is the resultant? Means from where this sodium sulfate formed? It is formed from acid, sulfuric acid, base, sodium hydroxide. Similarly, calcium sulfate. How calcium sulfate is formed? What is the formula of calcium sulfate? Calcium sulfate formula is formed from one acid, sulfuric acid, and base is potassium hydroxide. What is the formula of base? KOH, potassium hydroxide. What is the acid? Sulfuric acid, H2SO4. If salt name contains sulfate, then the parent acid is sulfuric acid. You take one more example, sodium sulfate. Formula is Na2SO4. What is the base? Sodium hydroxide. Acid is sulfuric acid, that is H2SO4. Third one is calcium sulfate. Same calcium sulfate. Base is calcium hydroxide. Its formula CaOH twice. Acid is sulfuric acid, H2SO4. Magnesium sulfate, it is a salt, its formula is MgSO4. Base is magnesium hydroxide, MgOH twice. Acid is sulfuric acid, H2SO4. What are the acid and bases responsible for copper sulfate? Same copper sulfate formula CuSO4. Base is CuOH twice. Acid is H2SO4, sulfuric acid. Now changed here, sodium chloride. Salt formula NaCl. What is the base? Sodium hydroxide. Acid changed. Earlier is sulfate means sulfuric acid. Chloride, so hydrochloric acid. Next one is sodium nitrate. Sodium nitrate means NaNO3. Salt formula is NaNO3. It is formed from base NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide, and acid is HNO3, nitric acid. You take one more salt, that is sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate formula is Na2CO3. Na2CO3. What is the base responsible for this salt? Base is sodium hydroxide, that is its formula is NaOH. What is the acid? H2CO3. Next salt, ammonium chloride. What is the acid and base responsible for the formation of salt? Ammonium chloride. What is the formula of ammonium chloride? NH4Cl. Base is NH4OH, ammonium hydroxide. Chloride is there in salt name, so acid is hydrochloric acid. Next one is calcium nitrate, CaNO3 twice. So how to write these salts formulas? By using criss-cross method. You learnt already in class 9th. Criss-cross method. Calcium Ca plus 2, nitrate NO3 minus. So resultant salt is calcium nitrate CaNO3 twice. So what is the base? CaOH twice. What is the acid? HNO3. Potassium chloride, KCl. Base is potassium hydroxide, KOH. Acid is HCl, hydrochloric acid. Zinc sulfate. What is the base? ZnSO4. Zinc sulfate formula ZnSO4. Base is zinc hydroxide, ZnOH twice, and acid is, because it is sulfate, sulfuric acid. Like that, you take any salt, you have to learn what is the acid and base responsible for that salt. Next one, it is activity from our textbook. To study the nature of some salt solutions, collect the following salt samples. What are the salt samples? Sodium chloride, potassium nitrate, aluminum chloride, copper sulfate, zinc sulfate, sodium acetate, sodium carbonate, sodium hydrogen carbonate. Here 8 salts given. You have to collect the solutions. Check the solubility of these salts in water. You collect salts and check solubility by using water. Check the action of these solutions by using litmus paper, and try to calculate pH by using universal indicator. That means less than 7 or greater than 7. Identify the acid and base used to form the salt, and record the observations in tabular form, and you will observe that all these salts are soluble in water, forming their salt solutions. Their action with litmus and their observations are given in the this table. We take sodium chloride. Already you know formula is NaCl. Sodium chloride is neutral to litmus, so no turn, no changes. So neutral means its pH is 7. So what is the acid in sodium chloride? Hydrochloric acid. What is the base? Sodium hydroxide. Second one, what is the salt? Potassium nitrate, KNO3. So KNO3 also you try with litmus paper. No change, no action, no change in color. That means it is neutral salt. What is the pH for neutral salt? 7. So potassium nitrate is there, base is potassium hydroxide, nitrate is there, acid is nitric acid, HNO3. Next salt is aluminum chloride, AlCl3. Aluminum chloride, interestingly you can observe, it turns blue litmus to red. Blue litmus to red. That means it is showing slightly acidic nature. So it is a salt, but it is acidic nature. It has acidic nature. These type of salts are called acidic salts. Acidic salt, because of acidic nature, its pH is less than 7. What is the acid in aluminum chloride? Chloride is there, so hydrochloric acid. What is the base in aluminum chloride? Aluminum hydroxide. You see here, HCl is hydrochloric acid, strong acid. Aluminum hydroxide is weak base. Strong acid and weak base, hence salt has strong acid and weak base. That's why salt has slightly acidic nature. Next one is copper sulfate, CuSO4. Litmus test, it turns blue litmus to red. That means it is also acidic in nature. pH is less than 7. It is acidic salt. Copper sulfate is there. So acid is sulfuric acid. Copper metal. So copper hydroxide is the base. You know sulfuric acid is strong acid. Copper hydroxide is weak base. Acid is strong. Base is weak. So acid is strong. Base weak. What is the nature of this salt? Acidic nature. Next one, zinc sulfate. Formula is ZnSO4. This salt also turns blue litmus to red. Blue litmus to red means it turns blue litmus to red means it is slightly acidic in nature. pH is less than 7. Zinc sulfate is there. So what is the acid? Sulfuric acid. Zinc metal. So zinc hydroxide is base. So H2SO4 sulfuric acid is strong acid, zinc hydroxide base is weak base, so it is a acidic salt. Sodium acetate, next one, sodium acetate, it has given different observation. It turns red litmus to blue. Red litmus to blue means blue color means base, it is base. So a basic salt, so its pH is greater than 7. Sodium acetate, metal is sodium, so sodium hydroxide is base. Acetate, so acetic acid is the acid. So you know acetic acid is vinegar, acetic acid is weak acid, sodium hydroxide is strong base. Acid is weak, base is strong. Acid weak, base is strong. So what is the nature of this salt? Basic nature. So basic nature, this sodium acetate is a salt which is having slightly basic nature. Next one, sodium carbonate, it also turns red litmus to blue. Its pH is greater than 7. This salt also has basic nature. Sodium carbonate, metal sodium, so sodium hydroxide is base. Carbonate, so carbonic acid is acid. Carbonic acid is weak acid. Sodium hydroxide is strong base. Sodium hydroxide is strong base. Carbonic acid is weak acid. So it is a basic salt. Next one is sodium hydrogen carbonate. It is also similar to like sodium carbonate, basic salt, pH is greater than 7. Okay. Next one, the common salt means sodium chloride, is an important raw material for various materials of daily use. Sodium chloride, by using sodium chloride, you can prepare so many types of substances. For example, NaOH, sodium hydroxide. For preparing sodium hydroxide, what is the raw material? Salt, sodium chloride, common salt. Second chemical is bleaching powder. We are using caustic soda in the form of soap. Bleaching powder we are using. Next one is sodium bicarbonate, baking soda. Next compound is washing soda. Baking soda, washing soda, bleaching powder and caustic soda, these chemicals we are using in daily life. But for getting these chemicals, what is the starting substance? Common salt, NaCl. So first of all you will see sodium hydroxide. It is also known as caustic soda. Sodium hydroxide, caustic soda, NaOH. Formula is NaOH. How to prepare this sodium hydroxide? You know already, just before this slide only I told you what is the raw material required to prepare sodium hydroxide. Yes, salt, common salt. When electricity is passed through a saturated aqueous solution of sodium chloride, when electricity is passed through a saturated aqueous solution of sodium chloride, it decomposes to form sodium hydroxide. Here one word is there, brine solution. Brine solution. What is brine solution? What is brine solution? Aqueous solution of sodium chloride. Aqueous NaCl is called brine solution. Aqueous solution of sodium chloride is called brine solution. If you pass electricity through brine solution, it undergo decomposition. So already you know, undergoing decomposition by using electricity is called electrolysis. So brine solution on electrolysis, it will give three products, three important products. One product is sodium hydroxide, another one is chlorine, another one is hydrogen. Here sodium hydroxide, alkali base, chlorine is formed. So that's why this process is called chlor-alkali process. This process is called chlor-alkali process because of the products formed are chloro for chlorine and alkali for sodium hydroxide. So what is the use of sodium hydroxide? It is used to make soaps and detergents. It is used in paper manufacture. It is used in oil refining. It is used in PVC manufacturing. It is also used as pesticides. What are the uses of sodium hydroxide? Making soaps and detergents, paper manufacture, oil refining, PVC manufacture is used as pesticide also. So here I given important uses for the three products in chlor-alkali process. What are the three products in chlor-alkali process? Alkali, that means NaOH, chlorine, and one more byproduct is hydrogen. Main use of NaOH is soap and detergent industry, paper industry as a laboratory reagent. So disinfectant, making polymers, uses of hydrogen as vegetable oil, hydrogenation of vegetable oil as a fuel. Now we will see next one, bleaching powder. Bleaching powder. So formula is bleaching powder formula CaOCl2. CaOCl2, calcium oxychloride. So bleaching powder chemical name is calcium oxychloride. So how to prepare bleaching powder? Bleaching powder is produced by the action of chlorine on dry slaked lime. When chlorine reacts with dry slaked lime, when chlorine gas reacts with dry slaked lime, bleaching powder is formed. CaOH twice, it is the formula of slaked lime, reacts with Cl2, chlorine gas, to give CaOCl2, it is called bleaching powder. One more product, H2O. So what is the chemical name of bleaching powder? Yes, calcium oxychloride. Bleaching powder is used to bleaching cotton and linen in industries and bleaching wood. For bleaching wood pulp in paper factories, it is bleaching powder is used as oxidizing agent in chemical industries. Bleaching powder is used as disinfecting drinking water. Next one is baking soda. Baking soda, its formula is NaHCO3, sodium hydrogen carbonate. Sodium hydrogen carbonate, baking soda. Sodium hydrogen carbonate is chemical name. NaHCO3 is chemical formula. How to prepare baking soda? You take brine solution NaCl, brine solution H2O, CO2 and ammonia NH3. By reacting all, you will get baking soda. Baking soda on strong heating, you will get Na2CO3, which is called washing soda. Na2CO3 is called washing soda. It will come in next one. Uses. What are the uses of baking soda? It is used as an ingredient as antacid. It is also used as antacid. It is used in fire extinguishers. It is used for making baking powder. Baking soda is used in making baking powder. What is baking powder? The mixture of baking soda and tartaric acid. The mixture of baking soda and tartaric acid is called baking powder. Baking powder is used in making breads because of CO2 gas will liberate. So that's why the bread becomes soft and spongy. So next one is washing soda. Washing soda formula is Na2CO3 dot 10:O. Na2CO3 dot 10:O. How to read this Na2CO3 dot 10:O? Sodium carbonate decahydrate. Sodium carbonate decahydrate is called washing soda. So how to get this washing soda? Recrystallization of sodium carbonate gives washing soda. Sodium carbonate, add water and make crystallization, you will get washing soda. It is a basic salt. Basic salt. So that means washing soda pH is greater than 7. It turns red litmus to blue litmus. So it is formed, this sodium carbonate is formed by thermal heating of sodium bicarbonate. What are the uses of washing soda? Washing soda is used in glass industry, in soap industry and in paper industry. In glass industry, in soap industry and in paper industry. In the manufacture of borax. In cleaning agent in house, washing soda for cloth cleaning and you can use. Removing of hardness of water. Hardness of water. What is hard water? Hard water means which does not give lather immediately with soap. Water which does not give lather immediately with soap is called hard water. Why it does not give lather with soap means it contains some calcium and magnesium salt. Presence of calcium and magnesium salts in water causes hardness to water. You can find in some areas you apply soap, soap will consume but it does not give lather because that water is hard water. Hard water does not give lather immediately with soap. Such type of water is called hard water. To remove that hardness, so to remove that hardness, we are using washing soda. What is the chemical responsible for hardness of water? What chemicals? Calcium and magnesium salts. Calcium and magnesium salts. Next one is, are the crystals of salts really dry? There is one activity in our textbook. Crystals means solids. They are having their formula contains water, but that salts are appear in only solid state. Water of crystallization means it is the fixed number of water molecules present in one formula unit of a salt. Water of crystallization. What is meant by water of crystallization? Water of crystallization is the fixed number of water molecules present in one formula unit of salt. For example, 5 water molecules are present in one formula unit of copper sulfate. It is very important. Copper sulfate, CuSO4.5H2O. CuSO4.5H2O. It is crystal. 5H2O, water is there, but it is in solid state only. So water is present in solid state. Water is present in the form of crystal. So it is called water of crystallization. Water of crystallization. In exams they will ask how many water molecules are present in copper sulfate crystals. How many molecules are there? 5 molecules. CuSO4.5H2O. How many water molecules are present in washing soda? Washing soda 10. Na2CO3.10H2O. Another important hydrated salt is gypsum. Gypsum, its formula is CaSO4.2H2O. CaSO4.2H2O. One more point here. CuSO4.5H2O is blue in color. Copper sulfate pentahydrate. If hydrate, crystalline water is there, it exhibits color, blue in color. After heating this copper sulfate pentahydrate, if you once started, you take this copper sulfate in one dry test tube. Take little of copper sulfate crystal in one dry test tube. You check the color, blue color. You start heating. After heating, it will lose all the crystal water. So there is no crystalline water. That means there is no color. Then it becomes white. So what is the formula of white copper sulfate? Only CuSO4. What is the formula of blue copper sulfate? CuSO4.5H2O. For white CuSO4, you add little water, again you will get regain that blue color. So it is the crystalline salts. Next, last topic in this chapter is Plaster of Paris. plaster of Paris. CaSO4 dot of H2O. CaSO4 dot of H2O. How to read this one? Calcium sulfate semihydrate. Calcium sulfate semihydrate. Another name is there, calcium sulfate hemihydrate. Semihydrate is correct, hemihydrate is also correct. This is formula of plaster of Paris, CaSO4 dot of H2O. How to get this plaster of Paris? You take gypsum. When heating gypsum, what is the formula of gypsum? CaSO4 dot 2H2O. When heating gypsum at 100 degrees centigrade, it loses water molecules and becomes plaster of Paris. Up to 100 if you heat, so it loses 3/2 water molecules, still it contains half water molecule. What is the formula of gypsum? CaSO4 dot 2H2O. If you heat gypsum at 100 degrees, you will get plaster of Paris. What is the formula? CaSO4 dot of H2O. If it is a white powder, on mixing it with water, it changes into gypsum. For plaster of Paris, again you add water, you will get again gypsum. You will get back. Doctors using this plaster of Paris to support fractured bones. Plaster of Paris, it is also used for making toys and decoration materials. Plaster of Paris is used for making surface smooth in AC ceiling and other things. So these are the uses of plaster of Paris. Okay, thank you. By this acids and bases chapter completely completed. So I hope you all understood. Okay, thank you.